South African Commercial, Catering and Allied Workers Union is urging its members not to accept Massmart's wage offer. The retail giant is offering union members a 4.5% wage increase. Meanwhile, SACCAWU accuses Massmart of offering the increase on condition that members terminate their membership. Joining us now for more information on this matter is SACCAWU Head of Research, Sithembele Tshwete. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. You're saying that members should not accept this 4.5% wage offer. Talk to us about some of your concerns.
Good evening, good evening to your viewers too. Happy New Year. We are having a situation where we've got workers who are so lowly paid in this industry, and we want to at least boost, their take home and their minimum wages, at least so that they can be able to afford, your daily living household, demands. We can say that the workers in this industry can't even afford the basic minimum, of the household, food baskets, which is where the money goes. Workers in this industry are earning as low as 3,600, which is just below, the national minimum wages of 3,800 and something. We're saying that we're demanding a 12% increase, which is negotiable, of course, with the company. And instead, they have gone into a negotiating table saying that they were going to go back to their executive managers, and the board to seek a mandate, only to sneak behind our back as a union and offer workers a 4.5% increase, which is equivalent to 300 rands, without us agreeing to that.
So how did you then establish, pardon me if you'll allow me to just interrupt you, how did you then establish that this deal is going on behind your backs? Because Massmart is saying that union members voluntarily resigned from the union to receive the increase. How did you now learn to establish these new developments?
We have seen a memo going around that was sent to our members. Our members have shown a memo which was sent to all workers to accept a 4.5% increase from the company, provided that they resign from the trade union, which makes things worse. This is collective bargaining. We're supposed to conduct ourselves and the company in a more honest, and frank manner. For them to say that workers should resign from the trade union, it makes matters worse. It makes us angry as a union. We're sitting at CCMA waiting for them because they said they wanted to. They are seeking a mandate from their board. Meanwhile, they know that they are sending memos to workers to accept a 4.5% increase. They didn't even give them that 4.5% increase. Those that are outside the bargaining unit, that is our members, those that don't belong to us, were given 250 rands increase. For December, workers have not gotten the increase. The majority of workers in that establishment, which are our members. Those that are not our members, which is about 10% of the workforce, receive 250 rands. We are saying here that we're not just demanding this increase for the sake of demanding it. Workers at this establishment are lowly paid. Our research, and in terms of our members, is telling us that the take home of 5,000, the minimum wage of 8,000, will be able to sustain workers, through the rising costs of, food, the rising cost of, transport, the rising cost of energy, electricity, that will sustain them. We have put that demand in front of them to be able to negotiate. And in terms of the practice, they are supposed to come back to us with a counter offer. They have not done that in about 5 months now. We've had about 8 sessions with them, 2 right now in December at CCMA, in terms of the Section 150 of the Labour Relations Act, wherein the director of the CCMA or the minister calls us together to be able to resolve this dispute because of the length of this dispute. They have not come back to us. Instead, they've told us that they've closed negotiations now. Then they are offering workers that 4.5%. And we know for the fact that our workers have not accepted that 4.5%. They have got to come back to the table.
So how do you know that some workers have not accepted? Did you see anything when it comes to the termination of membership, union membership with you at all?
We've got our own communication channels with our workers. We take mandate from them. We've got meetings with them. We've held several meetings where we have asked them where we wanted to establish whether are they people that have accepted that. They said that no, they haven't accepted any. And in any case, procedurally, the company is supposed to inform us because the subscriptions that those workers pay are deducted by the companies. So in terms of the procedure, they are supposed to inform us. Instead, they just go out there and say that hundreds of our workers have resigned. And we're waiting for them to inform us formally.
Okay, so you haven't noted on your end that members are not with SACCAWU, or no longer with SACCAWU. And perhaps just expanding on that, going forward, you say you've had countless meetings with the employer. When are you sitting to now finalize this and come to some sort of agreement?
They have walked out, they have collapsed in the negotiations by walking out of a session that was organized by the CCMA, saying that they are coming back, but instead they have not come back to us. We have written to the board of Macro, indicating to them that this conduct by their junior management, which is the ones that are conducting negotiations, is unbecoming. There's a number of things that they've done. They've suspended about 400 of our members, indicating that in the midst of these negotiations, indicating that they've breached picketing rules, something that has not happened. We are on record, having been one of the trade unions that observe, the procedures that govern, our relations with workers, but with the employers, particularly when it comes to strikes. Our strikes, even your television has covered our strike. None of our workers has breached picketing rules. Instead, our members were attacked by police that were called by management at Germiston store. We've written to them also indicating that they need to come back to the negotiating table at the CCMA. We haven't had any response from them.
Yeah, and of course, looking at how things are going right now, what is the biggest concern when it comes to jobs and sustainability looking into this new year?
We as a union, we first and foremost we need to put it up there that yes, the job security of our members is at uppermost in terms of our hearts, but also we're saying that workers shouldn't be earning salaries that they cannot live on,
Yeah, very well.
We're the first ones as a union to be able to encourage the company to employ more people, on meaningful, sustainable jobs. jobs that they can live on, that can sustain themselves on.
And lastly, before we let you go, what are some of the reasons that Massmart is saying when it comes to coming to some sort of agreement on what you're proposing and putting on the table?
What they've said is that our demands are unreasonable without any explanation. They should be taking us through. I mean, we're taking you. I've just given you an indication of what we have been advancing. That the salary that they are offering us, is unsustainable. There's a rising inflation, food prices are rising, petrol prices are rising. Inflation is rising. 3,600 is not going to meet any of those demands. It's not going to meet transport costs. It's not going to meet food costs. Some of our members have got families, of like about 4 people. You can't sustain, a family of 4 people, on 3,600.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best there.